He must be outside. Robert Speed, could you please come to the table? Thank you. We're going to begin with a strawweight division. I'm sorry, Dean, do you prefer to begin with heavyweight? I'm sorry? You would prefer that. So we're going to start with the heavyweight division.
Heavyweight. Champion Tyson Fury. Number 1, Deontay Wilder. 2, Anthony Joshua. 3, Aslan Akudov. 4, Frank Shansker. 5, Efe Ayala. 6, Jared Anderson. 7, Martin Bacalé. 8, Joseph Hart. 9, Otto Lane. 10, Francis Ngannou. 11, Philip Rovich. 12, Drew Joyce. 13, Ajit Caballero. 14, Daniel Dubois. And 15, Makodir Shalom.
Thank you, Daniel. The order for the session will be as per every convention. Any person who wishes to comment, please come to the microphone, state your name and your petition. The WBC Rankings Committee has been working diligently for 45 days. They met here for 3 days, and they met monthly. Any manager or promoter could have any case, but as usual, we have the open floor in order to address any specific case. So anyone who wishes to comment, please proceed.
Francis Warren from Queensbury Promotions. Queensbury are some very proud promoters of WBC World Champion Tyson Fury. We also represent Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois. Very happy with Joe Joyce's ranking, thank you very much to the community. However, Daniel Dubois should be ranked a few places higher, although he did lose his last fight against Alexander Usyk. It was a good fight, contentious. Knockdown, high or low, has had some suggestions, but obviously it's a big thing. We would like to consideration to be ranked a couple of places higher. Other than that, thank you very much for consideration.
Your petition is for Daniel Dubois to be ranked higher. If Dubois and Joyce were to be switched, would that satisfy your? Okay. That's just, it's not a commitment, it's just a piece of information.
Yeah, I mean, we represent both fighters. Although Joe was a good champion, he has lost his last 2.
He lost 2 fights, yeah.
So, the 2 guys, Joe is a little bit into this, but that's Daniel as well. He had a box for 3 more times.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any comments about the heavyweight division? Are you representing Samsung? So I can say, sit down?
Hi, this is Ahmed. I'm presenting for Universal Promotion Samsung. Who's ranked 18, he was ranked number 8. He lost his disqualification in the United States. He was the fight against Efe. His loss was clear, but Mr. President, we had a lot of claims. As a referee, I don't want to go too much deep, but I don't want to get this fighter punished. And I'm 18. And I see the fighter on 13 he's very conservative, and he actually the WBC is also not very active. Maybe Santos Whiskey will fight again on February for the WBC national title. I am asking only to get it back in the top 50 because
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Tom Dallas, Professional Boxing. Speak on behalf of Justice Foodie from Australia, who I can see is currently 17. He was number 20 in the last rankings. He just had a really big win just 2 weeks ago in Cancun. He defeated Andrew Beatty, who most recent ranking was number 14 in Cruiserweight. So a very big win against a top 50 challenger. I just feel that the race from 20 to 17 after such a big win like that, most significant races, I'm very happy with his team. I think recently that winning against BT is stronger than anything that's been done there. And also 30, however, I know it's legendary as strong as recently Justice Food.
Thank you, Tom.
I was checking from Boxeo and Super is exclusive in the US. I'm here to talk about Martin Gordon and the second very successful with
I am sorry. Which fighter are you referring to?
Martin Gordon. Thank you for increasing his place to 7 in a successful Thailand on Tyson Fury in the card. So again, we would like one more place to 6 if possible. I'm also going to talk about Fraser Clark. Scroll down to 28, please. Fraser Clark is a very exciting prospect for the UK. He's been spoken of in the same rounds as Conor Wolfley.
28, you said, or
26.
26? You see, before you talk, you already raised those faces.
But he's not in the same sort of practice as Conor Wolfley. I think he is probably fighter 20 or higher now. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We will do our best to address top 15. We will accept comments outside the top 15, but we'll be more trying to get through the top 15. Yes. Please say your name.
It's fine, I just won the back belt and division. He's now 27.
Captain Mena.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
He's fighting out of the last
thank you. We will take notes and we will address it with the ratings committee. Any other comments on the heavyweight division? Okay. Dean and ratings committee, we have a petition from Winsbury about Dubois. We have Ahmed Universal about Kospotsky requesting improvement from current 18. Tom Dallas, current 17, was 20, request top 15, and Boxer or Bancole, who is now number 7, they're requesting to be number 6 to switch with Adams. Are there any other comments from the floor? Please, ratings committee.
On the first one, when a promoter comes up and they're both in his camp, he knows the relative merits of both fighters. So there would be no objection committee to change that. That was just an easy one to do. I mean, the second one, I think is Cruiserweight. Cruiserweight had a very bad defeat. The committee looked at that last fight, which is important for us, and he, through multiple low blows, he had apologized to the committee, all the boxing public, for his poor performance. He was hurt in almost every round of that fight, and it wasn't a performance. I watched the fight, and we watched the fight, and he was badly losing, hurt several times. Any little thing about the referee. In fact, the referee, one low blow, the ball, the punch, glanced off.
Please,
So that's the thing. We looked at we don't need any more details. It was a commission, the committee looked at what happened in this last fight and rated it. The other thing, Mauricio, is in this division, almost everybody fought, almost everybody won recently, or have a fight coming up. So it made it very difficult for us to move fighters up there.
It's about Huni, 17, asking top 15. There's a petition. They would like to know the merits of Ajib Caballero. Two or three promoters mentioned that. So he could.
Caballero has a fight coming up on that Saudi Arabian card. It's our purpose that he's earned that 13th position, and he has a fight coming up. It happened the whole division. So once he has that fight, Huni is a great prospect, and that's only a month or so, and we'll be very. We just didn't have a room for him because of the activity of this division. Nothing against Huni. It's just that we just didn't have room for a change, very many changes.
Would you consider switching Fabio Warley and Huni?
So I have Pat McClure, he's a double champion, and we have Warley rated above him after doing a careful consideration of both of their fighters.
Lastly, Okole requesting switching with Jared Anderson.
McCauley is a very strong and hard fighter, but Jared Anderson is regarded as, and by the way, he's regarded the best prospect in the U.S. basically, and has been very successful. He's done. We moved McCauley up because of how he looked, and we look forward to his opportunity to get in the top 10. But that's where he ended up because Jared fought. He's got a fight coming. He's got a fight scheduled, and our rules for this, once you got a fight scheduled, you got a great result. That's how we do it. We just follow the rules.
Thank you. I would like to make one comment here on Kosovoski. He lost, and he lost because he lost his mind. He was not prepared for a mental situation that happened in that fight. The referee of that fight was absolutely incorrect, and he led the actions to have Kosovoski lose his mind, just as Mike Tyson lost his mind and beat Evander Holyfield here. It is very unfortunate. Kosovoski has been active and trying to show the world he's a very good prospect. I agree with the committee that the lesson must be learned, and he will come back and has to have activity and return and prove that he learned from a mistake. But it's not fair, he was not hurt. If he was hurt, he was hurt by low blows. So I agree with the committee on the 18th. However, we must not only blame on Kosovoski, but because it was a very unfortunate fight. So the only change that you would do is switch to Juan and Joyce. Is that correct?
Exactly. That was the only change the committee would make this appropriate.
Okay. We know that there's going to be incredible activity December 23 in Saudi Arabia. Many of these fighters are going to be competing. So the rankings from today will certainly have a thorough review for next month's ranking. But however, I believe all the cases that are mentioned, Ahmed, is there something you want to say, or we're not going to entertain any back and forth discussion? What is it that you would like to say?
I think this fight is not. Why? So,
The committee reviewed for a long time, and they arrived at actually a number 13.
yes.
Do you have a justification why it not be 13? Is the EU champion? And is there any specific situation?
Yes, I think if you compare Zach to Ruski, it's not the same. Zach was 8, and now was 80. What is wrong if I ask? Put him on 50, make everybody focus on whatever, sorry, but
Does the committee care to review, to explain the activity or merits to be 13?
He's fighting back in the left, number 3, and the Saudi card. And so we can use the same place. So it's an easy decision.
Very simple, Ahmed.
we are fighting Northwest, I don't want that, February 3.
Stop, sit down. Finish, Ahmed. Thank you. Now, need a towel later, you will be coming.
Yeah, but after the fight, we can come back.
Absolutely. I explained clearly that, don't do like this. I explained clearly that activity is ever, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, are you gonna read or we just record it as it is?
You have to vote.
Just the one change and then proceed with the vote.
Is there a motion to approve the switching of Mr. DeBois number 14 with Mr. Georgios number 12? Rex Walker moves, Hussein Wishi second, all those in favor, raise your hand. Passes.
Okay, next weight category is a Bridgerweight. And at this time, I would like, yes, I am.
You don't have to vote on the 15?
I'm sorry?
Do you only vote on the switch or on the top 15?
No need, you're already switched, so. At this time, I would like to ask our proud current Bridgerweight champion to join us on the stage. I saw he was here. Oh, Lucas, please. Lucas Rosansky Lucas, you won the championship, first round knockout, unbelievable performance. You are scheduled to fight against Battle Jack in a very high-profile fight. We want to wish you the best of luck, and we would like to present to you a special award for your achievements in boxing and your loyalty and great success.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mr. President, thank you very much.
I'd like you to have nice. Let's go to Bridgerweight, please.
Champion Lucas Rosansky. Number 1, Kevin Lerena. 2, Riyad Merina. 3, Adam Balski. 4, Andrew Kapiti. 5. Alan Babic. 6. Senat Gashi. 7. Chris Terzivsky. 8. Carlos Welch. 9. Alexis Barriere. 10. Keaton Gomez. 11. Alexander Tashkent. 12. Alexander Nedway. 13. Junior Anthony Wright. 14. High History. And 15. Mitsuru Bandon Tajima.
Okay, we have Don Majesto. Please introduce yourself.
Justin, your,
I'm sorry. Before we can speak, I want to ask everybody to give a round of applause to the most loyal, most incredible, passionate man in Boxeo. Also, before you speak, Don, I know that there are two persons in this room that were present at Madison Square Garden, April 8, 1971, or March 8, 1971, when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier the first time. I know you were there, and I know Charlie Allen was there. I would like to ask if anybody in this room was present in that fight. Only two. So we will take a nice picture afterwards and make it a poster, because you have been in so many fights with Chad Hennessy and Jack Johnson. So please go ahead.
like an archaeologist, that my future is in the past. But I thank you. I don't come here to get my ego bolstered, because the only place I go is to say nice things. So thank you very much. I represent Golden Gloves, and they're the promoters of Kevin Moreno. Just to let everyone know that he's fighting on the 25th, the interim Bridgerweight title while they're waiting for the outcome of Battle Jack and Minsky. And he's going to fight for that Canadian championship on the 25th of November in Gashi. So I'm assuming he moves to interim champion after that, after the #1 contender. But I just want to ask if there is going to be a deadline to make a Battle Jack fight. I mean, maybe June or May or something. So if it doesn't happen, then the winner can end up boxing. Since the Battle Jack can fight in the next few months. But that may be delayed.
Exactly. We will address that at the mandatory session. However, the WBC did approve Lerena, who won a final elimination bout, who accepted to step aside to allow Battle Jack to fight Rosansky, and petitioned to fight an interim championship until it was happening, which proved to be right, because that fight still does not have a date. So we will address that at the mandatory section. We wish Lerena the best of luck the 24th, but the idea proved to be right.
Yes, just to thank him, he received a tremendous compensation to step aside. So he got more than most champs, even though some people want to call it the phantom weight. It does exist, the fighters are making money, and thank God for that. It's done for them, that's what they don't want. They always say this for the fighter. Well, the fighter makes money, the fighter gets recognition, but for the fighter, how do you not recognize the championship? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nicola Dolchuk. I'm representative of WBC office in Ukraine, and I apologize, but I want to go back to the Bridgerweight fight. Many of our Ukrainian boxers right now, when they find out that there is a new Bridgerweight, so we have a huge number of boxers who are in Cruiserweight and heavyweight right now, and they want to join Bridgerweight division, but they don't know what should they start with. And for example, we had a first in the history,
WBC Bridgerweight Championship title bout. And we have a winner, Samira Chuko, and now he wants to go to Bridgerweight. So there was a question, what is the best decision for the boxers, in particular situation, if we bring in boxers to start in their bouts in Bridgerweight?
I understand. Thank you, Nicola. Sergey has been ranked number 21 after winning the tournament. What I would like to please ask you is to put a list together of all those fighters that have contacted your office to request ranking in Bridgerweight, and we will provide it to the rankings committee to review, and we'll address each case for next month.
Thank you very much. And he was ranked 21st in Bridgerweight.
Bridgerweight 21st. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Tarek Sadi. When I talk about the conventional message, I can't see him on the top 15. He was 12 last month, and now I don't know.
What is his name?
Andrej Pezic from Serbia. 12 to 20. He's supposed to fight on the card of the Don King next month, December 2nd in Miami, because we already signed a contract with Don King.
Actually, Andrej Pezic, number 20.
Yeah, he was 12, and he's supposed to fight against, I don't know, is Tony Gonzalez, the lawyer of TKP, in charge. And
Yes.
December 2nd, in Miami. If you can move back,
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Any other comments on Bridgerweight? Okay, ratings committee, we will be receiving candidates from Ukraine, specifically from Nicola, and Tariq is questioning why Andrej Pezic from 12 has been moved to 20.
Mr. Pezic was inactive since April 4th, 15th, 2022. So it's 18 months inactive. So the ratio is he has a fight schedule, and he had been released last month. We can put it back, and if he doesn't fight, he goes out for
Tariq, does he have any scheduled fight? Any activity? He won 2 weeks ago. Did you have that result?
No, he's going to be fighting on the next King ostensibly. We haven't seen that in writing. And I understand.
yes, excuse me. The next fight for him is December 2nd in Miami. The Don King show. But if Don King don't make happen this fight, I have another show on December 15th in Romania. I don't know if
He has been inactive. He will fight December the 2nd. The committee consider bringing him back to the position. And if he does not fight in December, we will.
That would be exactly what we would do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the committee will return Pezic to number 12, and the ratings to be shown on the screen to be voted to finalize Bridgerweight.
Is there a motion to accept the ratings as shown on the screen with the changes noted? 24 moves. Rex Worker second, all those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes.
Next, we're on to the Cruiserweight division. I'd like to also introduce a former WBC champion, and I personally do not like to use the word former. because once a champion, you are always a champion. So WBC Cruiserweight champion, El Diablo Cristo Blodacek is here with us. I would like to invite him to join us to receive a special award.
He was also a youth champion for many years ago. We're proud of him.
Rex, could you please present to your youth champion, who is now 42?
Christoph says, thank you very much. He feels like he's hold up here, because WBC is a family.
Cristo, we were in the coffee break and the WBC produced some pins with the image of my father that we always feel very close to our heart. And when I was getting some coffee, he approached me and he asked me to try to find one of those pins for him. And the reason that he said is that my father, Jose Sulaiman, was the first one to shake his hand, to believe in him, and he went on to become a world champion and always defended it with pride against great competition, always fighting outside of order. You're a great example for youth, you're a great example for boxing, and we always wish you this is your family. Thank you, Christopher. Please, we go with the Cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight, champion Noel Micaliano. Number 1, Ryan Rosicki. 2, Michal Sislak. 3, Tapiso Ushulu. 4, Yamil Alberto Peralta. 5, Richard Riacore. 6, Ilunga Macabu. 7, Marcus Brown. 8, Olanrevayu Durodora. 9, Yungil Dorticos. 10, Simone Federici. 11, Yves Ngabo. 12, June Smith Jr. 13, Christophe Flodacek. 14, Brandon London. And 15, Mike Perez.
Thank you. Any comments from the board?
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Here on the studio for everything, but you gave Ryan Rosicki number 1, so I just want to say thank you so much.
Could you please state your name?
Oh, yeah. Daniel Otter, 3 Lions Promotions, here representing Ryan Rosicki. So just saying thank you. He's number 1 my spiel to say this, that. So thank you.
Let me tell you the story of Rosicki. He is a very unbelievable story. He believes he's a reincarnation of Jack Dempsey. And when I spent time with him in New York, I was fascinated. He looks exactly like Jack Dempsey. He fights like Jack Dempsey. And it's a great story, and I wish him great success. We're going to be doing the mandatory sessions later, but I just want to please convey our message to your fighter. He's a very, very good person from very difficult homecoming from the childhood, but he's a fantastic good sport. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President.
Hello everyone, once again. Alex today. I am representing Macabu Group number 6. Would like to request 2 things, if it's possible. The first one is to move Macabu number 3. Because we accept the last fight, we would like to say thank you to the WBC for the opportunity, but the condition was not so good for us. I doesn't want to blame anyone, just to explain the situation and why I would like to request the number 3. It was number 2. He knows we congratulate the new child because it's not his fault. But Makabu received his visa and flying 48 hours. It was not easy for him to accept and to jump into the ring with the champion. In this case, I would like to request the WBC to help every boxer who will be in the World Championship to be on the place of the fight, to make the 7-day weigh and push every promoter and promoter also to make the 7-day weigh on the place, to save the title fight and the health of the boxers, because it can be difficult and dangerous for the boxers. Thank you.
Is Dr. Wallace still in the room? I believe he's in the medical workshop. We have a petition, a request, which I believe has a lot of merit, to have, whenever a fighter is coming from a different time zone, to be mandatory that he is at the site 7 days, at least 7 days before the fight. We will address this through the medical committee. I think it's a very important matter, and I agree with you. Ilunga Macau, for visa matters, did not arrive into Miami for only, I believe, 48 hours before the fight. And that has to be an effect. So I appreciate your recommendation. We will look at it and we will consider it.
It's Jeff Cunningham from Boxeo. We have a number of cruiserweights who will be fighting on another this year. But the cruiserweight I want to reference is Bridgerweight, is currently in 5, I think it is. He is a huge prospect. He will fight November 18th this weekend. He will fight Q1 2024 as well. He should be.
Excuse me, he will fight when?
This weekend, 18th November. He will fight Quarter 1, probably in February in 2024. He is ranked number 1 with another section body. And in our respectful submission, he should be number 1 of this world.
Thank you.
Again, I just would like to introduce him. He's the daughter of the manager of the Rodala, Roland Jenkins, and a great loyal supporter of WBC. I don't think you have a better. She wanted to say a few words on his behalf, and I'd like to speak for him.
Unfortunately, Roland couldn't be here for this convention. First one he's missed, he says in years, I think in decades. He did give me a statement to read to the committee, asking for another improvement, since we've gotten that, and I'm taking time with it, but as I mentioned, it gets emailed.
Roland Jankelson is, without a doubt, one of the most dedicated and exemplary managers I have ever seen in my life. He has spent all his money in supporting boxers, and he's such a beautiful human being. Please give him our best regards, and we hope that he is well. And the program will be addressed at the mandatory session, and it's a success story that I want to make sure the world knows about. Thank you so much.
The owl is word that your father was using loyal. And I don't know anybody more loyal than Mr. Jenkins. And also work loyal to the company. So on December 2nd, Rosicki, the number 1, is going to fight Uradala in the first of the 2 eliminated and awarded, as you always do, in conjunction with the rules of the title becomes vacant to determine the 2 first management. I'm requesting, in view of the fact that we have this fight signed December 2nd. The winner will go on to be mandatory, the loser will drop out, and that will be up for the next boxer, Victoria, coming in with the opportunity. But I'm representing Ronaldo won 6 straight fights, with number 8, number 2. For the purpose of this eliminates, you can go in as the number 1 and 2 contenders. Again, the loser within the academic, they're going to go out anyway, will be number 1. And then the next contender after that will be number 2, and they'll fight their eliminator. Okay?
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Yards again from Veteran Boxing. We represent Siobhan Clark, who was number 35 in the last ratings. He had an extremely good win against, I can see he's been moved up to number 20. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Siobhan
Clark, you moved him up 15 places to number 20.
So you're happy.
So I'm happy.
Andrew Wasilewski, Knockout Promotion. I would like to ask to keep Cieślak as a position number 2. Andrew Wasilewski, Knockout Promotion. I would like to keep Michael Cieślak as the number 2. I would like to remind you that he already fought against Duradola and won inside the distance in easy way.
Your voice sounds like a ghost, but I think I understood you want Cieślak to remain at number 2, correct?
Yes, to keep as a number 2.
Any other comments from the floor? So we have number 1 thanking the ratings committee for the position. We have former champion Makabu requesting number 3. At the same time, we have number 2 requesting to remain at number 2, Cieślak. We have a boxer requesting Riampor, who is number 5. He was number 6, now is number 5. He's fighting this weekend and then again in February. We have Jankelson and Majeski requesting Duro-Dola at number 2 due to the status of the fight they will have December the 2nd. And that's it. Are there any comments that the ratings committee would like to discuss?
Let's go to Duradola first. Outstanding team that they have. The top 5 by our principals, Mauricio, is to base surely on merit, and lower we can do it with the fight. If you say the highest would be 6, then you'd run into Makabu. So we moved him from number 12 to number 8 in recognition of the accompanying fight to help this promotion. So without a result, basically, we already moved him from 12 to 8.
This is a particular situation because that fight was signed many months ago. Very unfortunately, due to visa matters, there was no activity and Duro-Dola kept coming down. However, the fight was signed as a final elimination. It will take place. There's a date, and there is no need to make any movements. That will only create confusion. So I agree to just keep the position as it is.
Now we go to Makabu. The committee had a tough decision on this one. We had to determine what portion of Makabu's poor performance was due to not his current status, and make that what we understood was his late arrival through no problems of his own. So we had to do both of them, and considering that his prior fight with Badou Jack also ended in a knockout, he faded toward the end of that fight. We gave him all the credit he's due as a great champion, and only moved him down a few places to number 6, taking account that he's had 2 losses. There's no way, Mauricio, that we can really know how much the travel affected him. What we did see is that the punches affected him early, and he hadn't looked like that before. So that was why we wrestled with Makabu's ranking for a long time. I thought we came to a good compromise.
Tariq, I believe strongly that Ilunga Makabu has enjoyed an incredible relationship with the WBC. He has benefited in great manner for his performance in the ring. Unfortunately, he has lost the last 2 fights, and I believe he will be coming back at some point in boxing. I kindly ask you to trust the WBC, that when he comes back, and if he shows his performance up to the level, the WBC will always have him considered in the position. I think the explanation has very solid statements. Don't look at Dean like that. He can punch. Look at his hand.
No.
I kindly ask you to trust the WBC. Ilunga, I had a FaceTime 2 days ago on his birthday. He's highly regarded in the WBC. There are scheduled fights right now, but we will consider Ilunga if you trust the WBC.
I trust the WBC. I don't talk about the WBC involving inside. I just discuss about the boxers. He was 2 months on a training camp. It's not his fault. It was ready for the fight. We cannot say it's against Tariq, please. It's okay, I understand. I will not argue anymore. I would like to say thank you, Dean, for my boxers and for even Gabu. But I would like one change.
Thank you, Tariq.
Congo for even Gabu also, not Belgium. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Did you get the change for Congo for Belgium?
Congo to Belgium.
He's asking the change of Congo from Belgium to Congo.
I think both should be there because he has a Belgian nationality.
He's his promoter and he's asking Congo. Please register.
Okay. The next one, Mauricio, I'm one coming up from the bottom, is Riakpour. He's got these fights coming up. He's an incredibly gifted fighter, one of the best in the division. He had been active since January 21st, and that's why at this present time, we couldn't really put him up further because of an inactivity of 11 months or 10 months. He's fighting a couple times, and I'm sure if he performs like he has been forming, we can adjust his rating in the month to come. But right now, it's a fair rating considering his activity.
I would like to amend my request to make him number 3, Doradala. And again, it's academic and 16 days ago to fight, but if you're not going to accept with the status quo, we accept
Doradala is fighting a final elimination.
Okay, so we don't need
That's
it.
more than anything.
Okay, I just was saying for your sake, that's fine. We're very
Do you need the red towel?
No,
Okay.
I throw in the white
Thank
towel,
you.
my friend. I surrender.
Thank you, Don. So we're finished with the discussions. There are no changes on the ratings of the Cruiserweight division.
A motion to accept the ratings as shown in the screen with no changes. Who makes it, and Mr. Dwayne Ford seconds. All of those in favor, please raise your hand. Passes.
William Buro, could you please come to the stage? William Buro is the chairman of the safety committee. Maybe you have never seen him, but you have certainly seen his emails and his work that is tirelessly, one day after another. William has to get communications with promoters and managers and boxers all over the world to comply with the 30-day, 14-day, 7-day weigh-in, to comply with the medicals, and to have all the communication with the boxing commissions and promoters and managers. His work is titanic, and reason for which I asked Alberto Leon to present William Buro the Loyalty and Hardworking Award of the WBC. Let's proceed with light heavyweight, please.
Light heavyweight. Champion Artur Beterbiev. Number 1, Callum Smith. 2, Joshua Buatsi. 3, Daniel Aziz. 4, Alexander Votzik. 5, Anthony Yarney. 6, Albert Ramirez. 7, Richard Rivera. 8, Robin Krasnicki. 9, Ahmed El Biali. 10, Michael Effort. 11, Willie Hutchinson. 12, Connor Wallace. 13, Shahab Guler. 14, Jerome Pampelon. 15, Radivoje Kalajic.
Are there any comments from the floor in light heavyweight division?
Jeff Cunningham from Boxer again. We have Josh Buatsi and Dan Aziz that was announced yesterday. It's been rescheduled due to an injury of Dan Aziz. That will take place on February 3rd next year. Our proposal is that the winner of that fight should be moved up to mandatory.
Buatsi, number 2 against?
Daniel Aziz, number 3.
So there's a fight between 2 and 3 taking place next February?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This will have to be addressed in the mandatory sessions.
Hello again. I just need to say that I just talked with Alexander Gwozdzik, that is number 4 from Ukraine, and he just sent a message with the best wishes to WBC community, to the board, to the president Mauricio Suleiman, and the messages to all the other promoters that now he's ready to meet any of the first places fighters in his division and ready to become a world champion again of WBC. So just a message.
Thank you. Gwozdzik was a tremendous fighter. He took the title away from Adonis Stevenson, the miracle man who is here. Adonis. Please join us in the stage, Adonis, to receive an award. Adonis Stevenson, the miracle man, lost a fight. It was going to be his last fight of his career. He was determined to retire. It was a tragic accident. And the respect that Gwozdzik showed to Adonis was unbelievable. He never celebrated, please bring him up, Nicola. He never celebrated his victory until Adonis had recovered. So I think this is a beautiful moment between the representative of Gwozdzik and Adonis, and I kindly ask you to present him his plaque. Adonis has been speaking with us. He has different programs that he is starting in Canada and will move to international, all in promotion of youth, of peace and love for everyone. You're the pride of the WBC, Adonis.
Guys, never forget, when you have a life, you have the hope, the WBC. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. And
my second life, I'm gonna get everybody. You have a difficulty, you have a problem. I'll give you the hope. My recommendation, my hope is that give you the hope of some people. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Adonis. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicola. Whenever you're ready, Nicola, we can continue. Yes, Turkal. Fidel.
Hello, I'm Fidel from Australia. I'm representing Paulo Acuso, who I'm not sure where he sits. He was at 24 last month. He's a 6-0 fighter based out of Sydney in Australia. I'm not sure where he's sitting right now, but
he's number 19.
19
currently.
What I did ask for is, hopefully, with all respect, to be pushed into the top 15. Now, I can see that Seth Hutt in number 13, 4-0, fought for the international silver title. We asked the OPBF to fight in the second or third fight for the OPBF title and was rejected. We have fought every fight in the 6 fights for a title. We have beaten very credible, formally ranked WBC opponents very easily with our scorecards. Even in the last fight, not mentioning what ratings, but it was a top 10 fighter, and we beat him hands down with a broken chin and broken eye socket. This kid is the real deal. We want the opportunity to bring that big fight to Australia. We have a new deal with a pay-per-view promoter in Australia, or promoted by myself, pay-per-view network. The opportunity, if we can, to move to that 15, especially considering that Gladstitch has had 1 fight in 2 years, and we've been very active, and we're fighting the best of the best. There's probably 5 or 6 in that top 15 that have rejected our offers, and it's ridiculous money they're asking for. We are ready to fight anyone. We want the opportunity to be in the WBC top 15. We'll make the rest happen. We guarantee it.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
My name's Francis Warren from Queensbury Promotions. Here to represent Anthony Yard, who's currently at number 5. I'd just like to make a case for Anthony to be ranked 2 or 3. If this is the world rankings, Anthony is a proven world level fighter, 2 world title fights and fared extremely well in both of them. He'll fight again early part of next year, and I just feel that based on his record and his resume, he should be ranked higher than Boxeo and Aziz.
I did not clearly understand. You are okay with the 5 ranking?
No, I'd like him to be above Boxeo and Aziz, based on his resume.
So your request is number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the floor? Okay, so we have an announcement of Boxeo against Aziz for February. We have Vostik announcing he would like to fight anyone, he's number 4. We have a tremendous prospect that I have personally seen, Acuso, who is 19 and is requesting number 15. And Anthony Yard, who is number 5, is requesting to be moved to number 2. So, ratings committee, please.
I'm going to start with the top this time. Boxeo and Aziz was a fight that was postponed. They're both evenly rated by the rating committee. It's a great fight of quality. We kept them there because we understood the fight was going to happen. Yeah, we saw that it was going to sign now. So they had their places. When they made the fight, they were 2 and 3. They're still 2 and 3, and they're going to have the fight. Seemed logical to us. We moved Gavazic because, as you know, he dropped out of boxing for a little while. We waited for 3 fights he's had this year to assume that he was where he was. And if everybody knows that Beterbiev of that fight, he was ahead on points when he got stopped. It was a great effort. He's a great fighter. And that is why, with that kind of activity, we moved him, and his body of work, we moved him over a yard. As for Acoso, this was a success of the newly instituted the promoter meeting with the rating committee. It was so successful. They could see where we know, what we could see with face to face. We had some laughs. We understood now. We did the Acoso thing because Mauricio, his last fight, he only won a majority decision over 10. But we understood now that he broke his hand. So we moved him up from the position we had in the first draft from 24 to his current, where is he, Daniel? 19. So we moved him up 5 positions without a fight. He's been, since that fight, he's been on the shelf. So we feel that if he's as good as he is, considering he's only had 6 fights and the competition he's had, we agree that he's an excellent fighter, but he's properly placed right there considering his results. And he does. We look at potential, but we also know what happened in their last fight. And that we made the contest, after talking to the promoter, we gave them that thing. So I hope we addressed all those concerns by the fighters, by managers.
Thank you. Francis, how about, what is Anthony Yard activity?
Anthony Yard was knocked out in January, and then he just had a warm-up fight against just a very poor club fighter who he knocked out in 2 rounds with the right hand. So he was only 1-1, 1 win since January. And Gavadzic had 3 wins, as I said, in this time period. And Gavadzic had a better pre-fight than Yard. We considered that their body of work, their activity, and where the current status is. And this one was fairly clear to us that Gavadzic should go over Yard and just switch the 2 based on their ability. It's based on their top 5 in what we think is the merit of each fighter, irrespective of where they're going.
Can I just say, based on that rationale, Joshua Buatsy's only had
Can you please state your number, your name when you speak, please?
Francis Warren, just discussing Anthony Yard. Based on that logic regarding regarding Anthony's activity this year, he had a world title fight against Bridgerweight. He then had 1 fight after that. Buatsy's only had 1 fight this year, which, for me, if the logic is the activity, then Yard's been busier.
Jeff Cunningham from Boxer. About Josh Buatsy, we've seen, unfortunately, he would have fought this year already. The reason he hasn't is that Daniel Aziz was injured. It's been rescheduled for February the 3rd next year. There's nothing more that Josh Buatsy could do in that situation. He should remain at number 2.
The ratings committee recommendation is to keep the rankings as is. Does anyone from the board wishes to make any movement, any petition, or we proceed to the voting of the division?
In the absence of any petitions, is there a motion to accept the ratings in the division as stated on the board? Marcos Arienti moves. During 4 seconds, all of those in favor, please raise your hand. It passes.
Francis, please come. I love what I just saw. Please come to the center. This is boxing, okay? You fight for 12 rounds. Sometimes you get very excited, but when the bell rings and it ends, nobody saw what happened, now you saw. Please do it again. That's beautiful. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you draw. But you are all here to represent the interests of your fighters, so it's a great effort. I'm so proud of the ratings committee. These meetings used to take 8 hours. but with the successful system and the clarity, transparency, what you team do is a tremendous recognition. I would like to take a moment to recognize a very special person from the ratings committee. As you know, the clean boxing program is mandatory for the champion and the top 15 rated boxers. To get enrollment of the fighters is not easy because fighters are ranked all over the world, different languages, different managers, promoters, trainers. It's an extremely complex work. And Anson Wainwright has been the leader of enrollment. And the change that we have perceived since you're starting this process is unprecedented, and we cannot thank you enough for your work. Please come to accept. This is the special award for Anson. I ask on behalf of the ratings committee that you accept it for your hard work and dedication.
Thank you very much. I'm deeply humbled. I really have no words, but thank you for everybody's help. So thanks.
We go to super middleweight division, please.
Super middle, champion Saul Alvarez, interim champion David Benavides. Number 1, Christian Mbili. Number 2, Jaime Munguia. Number 3, Eric Banzinian. 4, Caleb Plant. 5, Demetrius Andrade. 6, Diego Pacheco. 7, Kevin Lele Sajo. 8, Sergei Deverachenko. 9, Vladimir Shishkin. 10, Edgar Berlanga. 11, Carlos Gongora. 12, Bektemir Melikuziev. 13, Ivan Zuko. 14, John Ryder. And 15, Lester Martinez.
Hi, Tom Dallas again from Matchroom. Just wanted to speak about two people in that list there. First of all, number 14, John Ryder. Personally feel that's a very low position for someone of his resume and caliber. His last fight was against Canelo for the undisputed titles, and he put in such a brave performance. It went the 12 rounds. It was an admirable performance from him. Just looking at those rated 7, 8, 9, quite a few positions ahead of him. Their resumes are nowhere near as good as Ryder's. Derevchenko, I know he's fought some top names, but he's only won one of his last 5 contests. And Sajo at number 7 and Shishkin at number 9, they've fought nowhere near the caliber of John Ryder. I mean, he has wins over Daniel Jacobs and Zach Parker, and obviously the recent fight he had with Canelo. So I feel 14 is a very low position. Would request that he goes up to number 7, please. And secondly, Diego Pacheco at number 6. We believe he is the future of the division. Exceptional talent. He fights every weekend in LA. It's headlining a show for the 3rd time in a row in 3 different sport. Just the committee keeps a close eye on performance this weekend against former world title challenger Caceres, and would ask that he moves up, assuming he wins this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Hi, I'm Edona, representing my company, Arena, and I want to talk about, I don't see my fighter, Luka Plantic from Croatia, WBC Silver International Champion, yes, 17. My request is, please, top 15. I spoke to Mr. Dean, and maybe we can do something because we are fighting Ivan Zuko. He's ranked number 13, and Luka Plantic was very active, and he defended his title. He has 7 fights, but he's a special kid. Why? As amateur, he knocked out the number 1 Mbili, and he beat number 12 ranked Bekdemi. It's amateur, it's okay, but this guy is special from Croatia. And I'm really asking, please watch into it. Top 15 somewhere, I'm happy. One thing, I think also for boxing, Croatia has to come back on it's important, because he's from Croatia.
You're a politician.
Buenos días a todos, Salvatore Cherchi, Italia. No, estaba mirando Ivan Zuko que pelea con Plantic el 3 de febrero. Uno es campeón internacional, el otro es campeón internacional Silver. Me gustaría, haciendo una pelea entre los dos invitos, que hacemos un trabajo con Ahmed muy, muy bueno por el consejo y por el boxeo. Yo quiero, haciendo una pelea entre los dos invitos, buen boxeador, el Zuko tiene 18, 16 por nocaut, 2 puntos. Si Zuko puede salir, que después de la pelea, que es importante, estos dos boxeadores que aman mucho al boxeo, quiero que salga un poquito del 13 al 10, por favor. Gracias.
¿Estás pidiendo Zuko subir de 13 a 10?
Sí, por favor. El Plantic en clasifica, así hacemos una grande cosa. Chao.
Good afternoon, everyone. Maxim Mikhailov on behalf of number 12, Bektemir Milikuziyev. Just get the message from him that he asked in the mandatory fight if it's possible with Eric Bazinan. So demonstrating that he's ready for a big fight, and I believe his amateur background. So kindly asking you to consider a possibility like that, or maybe something like that. It's possible. Thank you, President Sulman.
So he was 18, now he's 12. Are you making a recommendation, or you're happy with 12?
Basically, we're happy with the 12, but this is what I just get message about, that he's looking for Eric Bazinan fight, if it's possible.
Tremendous fighter from Uzbekistan. Thank you.
Thank you.
¿Qué dije?
Mikola Kovalchuk again. Actually, I represent today all the Ukrainians because many of our representatives of our boxers from Ukraine are restricted to leave Ukraine due to the Ukrainian law. I'm lucky to have 4 children, that's why I'm allowed to come. So, talking about Sergei Derevanchenko from Ukraine, his last bout was a beautiful bout, as you know, a very close bout with Jamie Munguia, number 2. And now Derevanchenko is number 8. I think that he can be higher because that was very, very close fight, and it was discussed in the whole boxing world about the scoring and everything.
Thank you, Mikola. Thank you. It's clear.
And number 18, Petro Ivanov, he's from Kiev and he's in Ukraine right now. 19. He was before, he was number 16 in the WBC rankings, and a few weeks ago he had a bout which he won by knockout, and now he's on 19 in rankings. So I think it's not his
Thank you.
position. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
For the record, Mikola is a member of the WBC. He does not represent boxers. He's from Ukraine, and we know the situation in Ukraine, and he's here to represent the interest of boxing of Ukraine. So I applaud you. You have nothing of personal interest, but you are doing a very good job. Okay.
Yes. I just a few words. I want to explain that many of the representatives are not allowed to
Thank
come.
you.
That's why I represent you.
Yes, thank you, Mikola.
Good morning, Anthony Rudman for Eye of the Tiger. We are representing Osles Iglesias, who's number 16. He was previously number 17. It's a new addition to the team. We signed him 2 days ago. His record is 9-0, 8 knockouts, and he has faced really good opposition. 4 fights in 2022, 1 fight in 2023 in October against undefeated German fighter Arthur Rees. We would like to ask for a top 15 position. And he's a really talented amateur from Cuba, now residing in Germany. Tremendous fighter.
Daniel Otter, Three Lions Promotions Canada. Could you scroll down the list? I didn't get to see the, yeah. Keep going all the way to the bottom, to the fourth. Okay, John Michael Bianco, I'd request a number 30 for him. He's 6-0, and he's the current Canadian champion, and he has a fight coming up December 2nd.
Okay, so we have a variety of petitions. I'm going to recap for the committee to please address. John Ryder, former champion who fought against Canelo, lost a very entertaining 12-round decision at Canelo's hometown. He's number 14. And Tom Dallas requests to review 7 through 9, as he believes he has emerged to be in that place. Diego Pacheco, who is number 6, will fight this Saturday, so I don't think there's any specific recommendation. Ahmed petitions Luka Plantic, who is undefeated, WBC Silver International, who will be fighting WBC international champion Suko. He's requesting to move up to 15. Suko, who is 13, is requesting to move up to 10 to give the fight between 2 undefeated boxers, which will take place in February, a higher interest. Maxime is happy for the number 12 and he's grateful. And we have Eye of the Tiger requesting Iglesias from 16 to 15, and Derbachenko, who is number 8, requests higher movement after his fight with Munguia, and Petro Ivanov, who was 16 and just won, is now 19. Please take a moment to review and we'll hear from you.
Hey, Mauricio, we talked in depth on John Ryder. His performance with Alvarez was unexpected. He fought better than people thought he would do, and he thought he would. And he has a great body of work. I would hope place for him over the guys that are there, and we just couldn't. If we can find in this discussion a place to put him. We thought about Derevchenko actually because of his recent streak of losses, but then he's from Ukraine. He's got such a problem there. So that's why we just couldn't. And the people over please go back to the. all the rest of those fighters are world class in the top 5. Pacheco's fighting, Sadjo's fighting, Shishkin and Belango and Gongora have great rep. Malakuziev just won. We spend a lot of time on this to try to do the right thing. And I felt bad that I couldn't do better for John Ryder. He somehow deserves that. Zuko is a little bit less of that class, but he's fighting for the international title, and we want to keep him there because of the international title. Iglesias, this guy's good. This guy, he's beat Isaac Chalemba, Moderna, who was rated, Ezekiel Velikowski's rated, Artur Reis, but he's only had one fight since October because of his transfer. We think highly, highly of him, but that doesn't matter. Ivanov just fought recently, and it was a low-level opponent, so we kept him the same way. He's only been in October. Lester Martinez, he beat last year, or this year, earlier this year, Isaiah Steen, who's Conwell's brother, and they thought he was the opponent, and he drubbed him every round. It was just a tremendous opponent by this, and he's come back with another win after that. As I said, Devchenko, the point was made that he's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's lost 4 of his last 5. And as for Plantix, his last fight when he defended his title, he fought a middleweight who'd lost 6 of his last 7. His only win was a W6. Very low-level fighter. When he fought for the title and won the title, it was again a fighter who had recently retired and they came back to fight. He just, again, a good fighter, but the top 15 has to be by merit. It's not about a fight coming up. It has to be by merit. We can help the fight if it's 16, 17, 18, but we have an obligation to the fighters and we have the obligation to the world by our rules and regulations to put the best top 15 there. And Plantic was not the best 13. And that's I hope I covered everyone.
Thank you, Dean. Tom, you wanted to say something?
Hi, thanks, Dean, for the explanation. But in Ryder's case, I don't think there was a clear explanation there as to why he is so low down. I think we can all agree from number 7 downwards that he really does have a better resume than everyone there. So I'm just struggling to accept a little bit that ranking, if there's anything we can do there to get him up to that number 7 position. Because
I am sorry, Tom, I am not understanding any word that you say.
Sorry, is that better?
You can move up the...
So, sorry, I just still struggle to accept that John Ryder's in that number 14 position. I think we can all agree from number 7 downwards, his resume is far better, and I just think he should be almost rewarded from his performance against Canelo on the biggest stage possible against the biggest star in boxing. That performance he put in, I just think it's a little bit disrespectful towards Ryder to have him at number 14 when number 7.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. If there's anything we can do.
Okay. Yes, Ahmed. It's the same of the same. He was very clear. Your fighter is 7-0. His last fight was against an opponent who won only 1 in 6 fights, and he's a great prospect.
Let me talk. Don't be angry.
No, I don't think that. Many people have cases to put forward.
Okay, but I am accepting it, okay? But what will happen after this fight when we beat Zuko?
Absolutely. We have to understand something, Ahmed.
I understand the 17, I'm taking it.
Please don't interrupt. Ratings has a criteria. Record, activity, level of competition, and many other situations. And they work so hard with hundreds of requests every single month. Number 17 will fight number 13. The winner, I am sure, is going to get a great rating. We cannot rate because of a scheduled fight. The winner will certainly get the recognition if he wins clearly. If he wins by a headbutt, it's different. If he wins by a controversial decision, it's different. If he wins by a spectacular knockout, it's different, okay?
I understand.
Thank you, Ahmed. I personally request to the rating committee to consider Ryder. John Ryder, I was there at the fight. He could very easily have stayed in his stool after the 6th round with a broken nose. And he chose to fight bravely and won some rounds. I definitely believe that he deserves to be number 7, number 8.
I have no problem that if we want to move him number 8, I think that the problem is solved. What about switching your other fighter, Berlango, with it? You both matchroom.
So would the committee accept to move Ryder to number 8?
It was, again, I told you about the Ukraine thing. It seems sort of unfair for Sergei Derevchenko. We were trying to find a place about 10 for him, but if you feel that he should go against Derevchenko, we can do that. He deserves in there. I think basically maybe 9 would have been more fair considering the Ukraine situation, but it's a flip of a coin.
Okay, Tom, are you happy with number 9? But both are coming from a loss. Ryder lost to Canelo. Derevchenko lost to Munguia in a great fight, both great fights.
Of course, I have full respect for the situation in Ukraine, but Derevchenko has still been active. He's still been fighting. So I don't think that's a reason to have him one space higher than Ryder. So respectfully, I would request number 8, please, for John Ryder.
I don't want to debate publicly, but when Derevchenko fought Jaime Munguia, it was a split 1-point decision. He showed his ability where he is, and that's why I just mentioned the 8, but he deserves the 8.
Is this the final position from the ratings committee? Okay. So Ryder is number 9, just adjust. The other was coming down. If you'd like to proceed with the voting.
Taking into account the movement that President Suleiman just mentioned, is there a motion to accept the ratings as resulting? Peter Stuckey moves. Do I see a second? Charlie Giles seconds. All of those in favor, raise your hand. It passes.
So we're going to continue until 1:30. No, because the restaurant closes, right? Okay. We're gonna break for lunch, and we will be back in 1 hour at 2 p.m. to continue with the middleweight category. Thank you very much. Have a good lunch, enjoy, and we'll see you shortly. Thank you so much. No.